Justin Baldoni just scored a legal victory that nobody saw coming, and it might spell real trouble for Blake Lively. After months of swirling rumors, shocking subpoenas, and private records demands, the judge finally weighed in with a decision that caught everyone off guard. But the real question is, how did a routine demand for information turn into such a stunning pivot in this ongoing saga? When rumors of tension between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively first surfaced, many fans brushed them off as mere tabloid chatter. The two stars, each successful in their own right, didn't seem like the typical Hollywood rivals. However, whispers of a behind-the-scenes dispute began taking center stage when Blake accused Justin of orchestrating a negative media campaign against her. According to her legal team, certain outlets and online chatter were no coincidence. It was all part of a deliberate effort to damage her image. What started as unconfirmed rumblings soon escalated into a legal showdown. Blake's lawyers insisted they had evidence tying Justin to coordinated PR hits, while Justin's camp called those claims absurd. All the uncertainty built up to a dramatic moment, a massive set of subpoenas that Blake's side believed would expose the so-called secret network fueling her public woes. And that's exactly where things got messy. Blake's legal team went on the offensive, issuing subpoenas to a wide range of phone companies and service providers. They wanted years of call logs and text messages, covering not just a few months, but nearly 2.5 years of Justin's communication history. Supporters of Blake argued that if a hostile PR machine really existed, it would show up somewhere in those records. The drama reached a peak when rumors surfaced that she might even be looking to rope in other high-profile figures, possibly including big-name artists or Hollywood insiders. But critics slammed these demands as blatant overreach. Opponents questioned why Blake needed phone records dating back years, when she had publicly claimed that any negative campaign against her only started a few months ago. For many, it felt like a fishing expedition, an attempt to dig into the most private parts of Justin's life. And that's exactly what the court had to address. Still, nobody expected the judge to come down as firmly as he did. After all, celebrities in court often face unique rulings, with judges mindful of media attention. But the next development changed everything. In a decisive move, the judge quashed Blake's far-reaching subpoenas, labeling them too broad and unrelated to the specific window of alleged misconduct. The court specifically pointed out that Blake's own lawsuit referenced August of this year as the kickoff point for any alleged reputation-smearing campaign. If that was true, the judge reasoned, then diving into 2.5 years' worth of phone data was not only excessive, it was irrelevant. This was exactly what Justin's team had been hoping for. They had argued from the start that Blake's demands were a violation of privacy and unrelated to the time frame in question. The judge's ruling backed them up, dealing a critical blow to Blake's strategy. Overnight, what once seemed like a strong push on Blake's part turned into a massive win for Justin. Yet, for those following the case closely, this outcome raised a new set of questions. If the subpoenas are too broad, can they be narrowed? Will Justin still have to provide some records, just on a smaller scale? And most importantly, what does this mean for Blake's attempt to prove she was targeted by a systematic campaign? The judge's order didn't slam the door entirely on Blake's hopes. Legal experts were quick to note that the ruling left room for more narrowly focused subpoenas, ones that could target specific people or specific time frames. Blake's team might shift to a different strategy, asking for direct admissions or presenting targeted interrogatories to force Justin to list any individuals he collaborated with against her. Such steps would be more typical of a legal case like this, where you try to gain relevant evidence without sifting through every line of someone's phone records for multiple years. But until Blake's team clarifies its next move, observers can only guess how they'll adapt. Will they continue swinging for the fences, or pull back and rework their approach more carefully? The challenge now is that this loss has put Blake in a tougher position publicly. Instead of showcasing proof that Justin orchestrated a covert plan, her team now faces criticism for what looks like a heavy-handed tactic that backfired. But there was more fallout still to come. Outside the courtroom, the public reaction was swift. Some supporters of Blake defended her, insisting that she needed broad requests to reveal Justin's hidden network of negative PR. Others saw this as a desperate ploy, especially given her own allegations pointed to events starting just this past summer. Worse yet, many observers labeled the move hypocritical. After all, Blake had criticized Justin for dragging private matters into public view, only to demand massive amounts of his personal data. Social media was buzzing with allegations that her team was going for a gotcha moment, hoping to uncover embarrassing details that might have nothing to do with the lawsuit, but could still tarnish Justin's reputation. Behind the scenes, whispers grew about how these legal decisions were being influenced by PR teams. If controlling the narrative was the goal, this courtroom development didn't help Blake. All eyes now turned to how she would salvage the moment, or if she even could. Legal experts predict that if Blake's camp refines their subpoenas, Justin's team might counter with their own requests, perhaps digging into who Blake contacted. Rumors are already swirling that other major industry names could be subpoenaed, especially if there's evidence they advised or took part in negative publicity. Beyond this specific dispute, the case is a reminder of just how delicate celebrity lawsuits can be. On one hand, stars claim they want privacy. On the other, they may need to expose personal info to prove a legal point. If Blake's lawyers bring in new names, like high-powered publicists or famous confidants, this could escalate into an even bigger spectacle. For now, the judge's decision underscores a crucial lesson in legal battles. If you overreach, you risk losing credibility. That fact alone might shape how both sides approach the next round. From an outsider's perspective, Justin Baldoni's victory looks like a major blow for Blake Lively's case. By quashing those broad subpoenas, the court reaffirmed that legal battles can't be fought on guesswork and fishing expeditions, at least for now. Justin walks away with the momentum on his side, but the story is far from over. Blake can still try for a narrower approach, possibly honing in on the exact texts or emails that might show a pattern of negativity. Whether that new strategy gains traction or not will define the next chapter of this dispute. One thing is certain: the public and the media will be watching every move. After all, legal fights in Hollywood can be as dramatic as any script on the big screen. No matter which side ultimately prevails, the stakes are high, and both reputations are on the line. Will this become another cautionary tale about legal warfare among celebrities, or is it just the opening salvo in a much longer conflict? Only time will reveal the full extent of what truly went on behind the scenes. Until then, we're left to wonder, how much further will both stars go, and who will end up with the final edge in this high-profile struggle?